Hey everyone, it's Levi. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know and have probably seen some updates that a couple weeks ago I tested positive for COVID-19. And I really appreciate all the comments and kind thoughts and prayers and encouraging words that I received. They were very encouraging. I read all of them and they make you feel better when you're sick to get nice things like that. So thank you. I also received a lot of questions, rightfully so, type 1 diabetic. So I'm not the first one, but I'm another one. So I want to put together a video today. I've got a little more energy today, wearing pants for the first time in 2 weeks. So that's a victory. And I want to acknowledge some of the things that I experienced with COVID-19. There's three things that I'll really touch on, three real things that I noticed and experienced during my time with it. But first of all, I'll tell you, I have not had the typical COVID experience, and it made me question whether I had it until I did some research and learned that about a fifth of people who get COVID-19, it's mostly digestive. And that was the case for me. And I won't go into a ton of detail, but let's just say that it's severe in every way you can imagine. So it has been an exhausting couple of weeks on that front. Nearly every hour for 10 days, I had a problem of some sort that involved me being in the restroom. So it was not what you hear about in the media and see on the news. It wasn't all, breathing and hard to breathe. I mean, I had chest pains and a little cough, but nothing. It was never the primary concern. With that said, as a type 1 diabetic, anytime you're sick, blood sugar is the biggest concern. This is the first time in my entire life that my blood sugar has not been a problem while I was sick. Partially because of the support system I had. I have great people that I'm surrounded by, my family and friends who provided and kept me fully stocked with the right stuff and snacks and all the things that I need. But mostly it was control IQ. I'm still bewildered by how this whole thing has transpired. Control IQ is cool. And it was cool when I wasn't sick. And if you're not familiar with it, if you're a tandem pump user and you've got a Dexcom CGM, there's a program, an algorithm they've got that will assist with keeping your blood sugar in range. It will withhold insulin if it sees you're getting ready to go low, and it will administer insulin if it sees that you're going to go high. It's not perfect. You still have to interact with it a lot. Think about cruise control in your car. When the situation's right, it'll just cruise at 70 miles an hour indefinitely. But if someone in front of you slams on the brakes, you've got to hit the brakes. And you still got to steer the car. It's kind of like that. It's a great tool. And it was cool when I was not sick. This is the first time I've been sick and having control IQ. And if you have those two devices, the Dexcom G6 and a Tandem, and you haven't done that update, stop what you're doing and do it. I cannot brag on it enough. I was horribly sick, running fevers, body aches, shivers, not sleeping more than 45 minutes at a time. And I would get up in the morning running a fever with my blood sugar at 115 every day that I've been sick. I never thought that was going to happen in a million. Usually your blood sugars are sky high. When you get sick, your body produces stress hormones, which then trigger the liver dump, which dumps glucose in your system to help fuel to fight your infection. And it wreaks havoc on your blood sugar while you're sick. I've had some of the most steady numbers while sick I've ever had. And I can't take the credit for it. It's been control IQ. It was a huge, huge help. But if you don't have it, know that you got a battle ahead of you. Like any other time you're sick, you got to keep your blood sugar in range, and that's difficult because you may not be eating a lot. You may not be able to eat a lot. You may have a hard time staying hydrated, and you're going to have high blood sugars, and so you're scared of over-treating because the last thing you want to do is go low, and then you can't hold any food down. That's a terrifying feeling. But you got to do the best you can because letting your blood sugars get out of range and stay out of range is what's going to cause something like COVID-19 to really take a turn for the worse. So yeah, with my experience and with any experience being sick, your blood sugar is going to be a problem. I could see it jacking with my blood sugar, and you can kind of watch your pump and see how hard control IQ is working to combat that. So I could see that my blood sugar wanted to be high. The second thing that was a big part of my experience was just energy levels. I've had none. I still don't have a lot of energy, but that also goes with just being sick. But COVID's a little bit of a higher stakes poker, so take these things into consideration. If you're going to be exhausted, completely fatigued, What is that going to mean as a diabetic? You're unlikely to get up and go get something you need. If my pump was about to run out of insulin or the battery was dying, you're so tired and so sick that you're just, it's very tempting to just ignore it. If you don't have stuff by your bed to drink, it's going to be very tempting to just lay there and be comfortable instead of fighting to stay hydrated. So keep energy levels in mind if you start to feel sick. Stock up your bedside with all the things you're going to need to be sick. Drinks, snacks, all your chargers, everything you need for your pump. Have everything you need right there by your bedside so that you're not tempted to let things slide and ignore important parts of your life as a diabetic while you're sick. The third thing, and this one was a surprise. I didn't think about this beforehand. Being sick with COVID by the way, it's terrible. You want no part of it. But I think it's almost as hard on the people that are taking care of you. You get to be sick. You lay in bed, and it's terrible. And that's the sickest I've been maybe ever, as far as those symptoms go. But you think about your wife or your family. I was quarantined to the upstairs. So I had so now my wife and my children are stuck downstairs for the whole time I'm sick. And then now when I should go symptom free, they're supposed to stay quarantined for 14 more days. Well, even I don't have to do that. When I'm symptom free, I'm allowed to go back to work and rejoin the population. I can go get tested again. And if I test negative, I can go straight back to work. But the people that are close to you, they have to quarantine 2 weeks from the day you're symptom free. So they really are getting hosed. So now I've got to stay here an even longer amount of time. And they're caring for you, and the stress they're every time they bring you something, they wear that stress of, am I bringing it back downstairs? Are we going to infect our children? It's a lot of stress for the people that are taking care of you. You're not just sick. You're sick with something horrible and highly contagious. So keep that in mind, because if you're sick and you're fatigued, you're probably going to be a grump like I was. I was a grump the whole time. And take that into consideration and be kind to those that are taking care of you if you already get sick. So that's been my experience so far. I'm not out of it yet, but I'm feeling better. And thank you again for all the kind words. I keep trying to put together memes on Instagram just to pass the day by, and because a lot of y'all think they're funny too. So I'll keep up with that. And I wish everyone the best. I really hope that no one watching this has to deal with being tested positive for COVID, because it chomps, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. But I'll see you guys soon. In the meantime, stay well.